Rocky Mountains are a great chain of wilderness and life that sweeps from Yellowstone to Yukon. The narrowest point in this chain, and the most ecologically diverse, is in the Crown of the Continent region along the US-Canada border. Waterton Lakes National Park's abundant wildlife, diverse ecosystems, and scenic beauty led to its designation in 1977 as the core protected area for the Waterton International Biosphere Reserve. More recently, in 1995, the park was included in a new World Heritage Site. But the park is at risk. The Waterton Front is a unique place. Wildlife is abundant. More than 1,200 elk, for example, winter here each year. Eradicated from similar habitats elsewhere, grizzly bears still forage in the aspen parkland along the foot of the Rockies. Abundant prey sustains large carnivores like the cougar. Coyotes are common. Lately, even wolves now range this foothills landscape. Growing numbers of vulnerable species, like the greater sandhill crane and trumpeter swan, nest in secluded wetlands. But few realize that most of the wildlife people associate with Waterton depend to a great degree upon the open space, rich habitats, and seclusion offered by the ranches that lie along the park boundary. If it weren't for the large ranches and the caring stewardship of the families who live there, Waterton would not have survived so long and so well. And now, those ranches are under threat. The loss of family ranches doesn't just mean the loss of wildlife habitat. It also means the loss of sustainable lifestyles based on caring for the land. Kathy Flundra and her father, Dave Gleister, along with other family members, managed the Chaudry Ranch just north of Waterton Lakes National Park.
Our decision to move here was sort of a family decision. We decided that the pressure and what was happening further north and closer to Calgary, that there was no future for our family operation if we wanted to stay in agriculture. Now it's starting to worry us with the increase of pressure from subdivision and development in this area. When the dollar gets involved, it's very tempting to young people that are sort of struggling with the farming operations to sell the land and just say the dickens with it. We think it's the land in its present form is well worth preserving.
We have found since we've moved down here that you have to create, you have to sustain, and you have to manage your land and your wildlife. We like the wildlife on here. We try to manage it with our livestock and with the wildlife that we have on here. And we just find if there's a lot of fragmentation of the land, there will be no habitat for the wildlife. The wildlife does not know the boundaries of the natural park. They come out here. It's part of their habitat, and being close to a park, being close to a very special area, we have to maintain it, we have to manage it, and we have to keep it for the enjoyment of future generations. If we want to continue to enjoy the wildlife and the habitat the way it is now, the rancher and the general public are going to have to work together to protect the Waterton Park Front.
Visitors to Waterton Lakes National Park may not realize how much they owe to the neighboring ranchers who have kept wildlife and habitat healthy for the past century, nor do they realize how much is now at risk. One of the world's great places, the ecological linchpin in the great chain of life from Yellowstone to Yukon, is on the cusp of change. Its future survival hangs on the survival of ranchers and ranching in the Waterton Biosphere Reserve.